Hi everyone, thank you Orly for including me in this year's Life Vest Inside Dance for Kindness event. I am truly honored to be a part of it, and I would like to wish everyone around the globe a happy World Kindness Week. Especially for me. Yes, for me. I have to tell you that when I first got the invitation to be here, I started laughing. It was really ironic how life plays with us. Because usually I'm a very kind person, there is no doubt about that. But the past year was a very intense one for me and my wife, Leticia. Because of some wrong decisions that we made, we ended up losing what was most precious for us: trust in each other. And so we began a long journey to rebuild what was broken. And it was hard, it was really, really hard. It was a year full of anger. Anger was very present in my day-to-day life, and honestly, it is still today. Much weaker than it used to be, but still here. And guess what? With me, when anger comes in my way, it is so interesting to notice how kindness loses priority. So when I got the invitation to be here, I was ready to say a big thank you. I feel honored, but I can't. And then I remember making a joke with my wife. I came to her and I said, guess what? I was invited to speak about kindness in the World Kindness Week. Can you believe it? I think they picked the wrong guy. They definitely picked the wrong guy. And then she quickly replied to me, no, they didn't pick the wrong guy. They picked the right guy. You're the right guy. And you're the right guy. Do you know why? Not because you're a teacher. It's because you're a seeker. And that struck me very hard. In that moment, I felt ashamed. I felt very ashamed. Ashamed of not trying harder. Ashamed of not being a better seeker. And so I decided to do something. A small experiment. A simple and easy experiment. For 1 week, I would work as a tracking device to monitor my level of kindness. To understand how I was doing. I was being kind or not. How do I know? I have to measure it. There's a saying, if you cannot measure, you cannot manage. So for me to manage, I had to start measuring. So every day, I would stop for 5 minutes at the end of the day and evaluate how kind I was during that day. I would rank from 1 to 10. 1 being not kind at all, and 10 being amazingly kind. I would track that during the day. Every single action. The way I talk to my dad, the way I talk to Leticia, the way I talk to my kids, everything would be closely watched. Do you know Jim Carrey? At the Truman Show, where there are cameras everywhere? That's it. That's exactly it. There's absolutely nothing that could be unnoticed. Nothing could go unnoticed. And so I started. First day, at the end of the day, I sit down with Leticia to discuss how kind I was that day. And after a very good talk, asking for real examples, she giving me examples, I giving her some examples, here's what I got. I'm putting here the 7 days of the week, and here my score from 1 to 10, and I got a 4. A miserable 4. Yeah. Below average. Anyway, I was committed to the truth. This is important, honesty. My score has to be a just and honest score. And that was a honest score for me. Leticia gave me 2 points more. She gave me a 6. Not very far away, but above average. And the interesting part here was the discussion we had about the meaning of the word kindness. I used to take it for granted. Kindness. What does kindness mean to you? Have you ever stopped to think about that? Do you think kindness means the same for you and your dad, your mom, your wife, your whoever? Do you think? Have you ever tried to discuss that with someone? Because for me and for Leticia, two things were very clear. First, we both didn't have clarity of our personal definition of kindness. I didn't have. I was measuring something that I didn't know exactly what it was. And second, the meaning of the words have different perspectives. What I was perceiving to be kind was not necessarily true to her. But okay, day one, gaining clarity about the meaning and the definition of kindness. So let's move on to day two. I have to get better, got a 4. So same thing, observing myself during the day, raising awareness, very aware, cameras everywhere, every detail. End of the day, Leticia and I, very good talk, good arguments, good examples. And here's what I got. I came down to 2. Yes. 2 days, I got 4 and 2. In 2 days, I got an average of 3. Oh my God. What was happening? This is unbelievable. Here was doing an experiment about kindness for the World Kindness Week. And in the first 2 days, I got 3 as average. Then I remember her saying to me, remember you are a seeker, you're not a teacher. So I decided to improve a little bit my experiment. Instead of only monitoring my level of kindness, I put myself a goal. I had to challenge myself. I wanted for the 5 days of the week that I had, I wanted to have an average of 8. I wanted to raise from 3 to 8. And here is what I got. Look at this. Day 3, 8, 8, 8, 7, 8. Impressive, isn't it? And I'm not cheating. Remember, truth, honesty. It's important to do that. And I have her as a testimony. Anyway, I didn't reach my goal because the last day I got down 1 point here to 7. But anyway, what matters is not the numbers. It's not the chart in itself. What matters comes next. What do I do with this? How does it help me improve? So the next phase is to begin an investigation process. How do I use these numbers and all the examples that came with them to kick off a critical thinking process of why I decided to do what I did in those days? So why did I move from 3 to 8 and then back to 6? What happened? How was my emotional state during those days? How did it interfere or not in my attitudes? There are lots of questions that we can do just by looking at the numbers. And let me give you an example. In my case, I already knew that anger could be an obstacle, a derail to kindness. So what have I done? I have also monitored anger. I have tracked anger as well during that week. So I had kindness and anger. And look how interesting. Can you see? So 2 days, kindness very low, 2 to 4, anger 7 to 8. Then I changed strategy, put a goal, and I changed things, and I improved. And again, not the numbers, but the reason why, what happened. And when I look at this with the lenses of curiosity, I ask myself why anger was high at the beginning, dropped 2 points here, and then came back again. That's what interests me very much. So you remember day 2, that I was really bad? I had a score of 2. So I changed strategy, right? I put myself a goal. I was not only tracking and monitoring, I had a goal. So I was totally focused on kindness. I knew that if I avoided uncomfortable discussions with Leticia, it would be much easier for me to be kind and to reach my goal. Very objective. No discussions, kindness. I will reach my goal. And that was exactly what happened. So there were times during this week that I was full of anger. And Leticia would come to me and ask, everything's all right? And I would just say, yeah, love, everything's all right. Everything is great. And that was not true. You see, in order for me to go from a score of 3 to a score of 8, I made a very important decision. I chose kindness over honesty. I made a values trade-offs. And this is what happens when I plot another very important value for me in the chart. Now we have kindness and honesty. See, honesty was high, kindness was low, and then I made the trade-off, right? Interesting, isn't it? When I look at this, I clearly see the trade-off. I didn't see it when I was doing it, but after, closing the week and looking to it, I could see it. Honesty going down and kindness raising up. But then I realized that this strategy was not sustaining. And why that? Because I was hurting another very important value for me, which is honesty, a pillar of my relationship with Leticia. If we had a values board at home, those boards that have a list of values that tell us how we want to live our lives together as a team. Organizations used to have that. If I had one there, kindness and honesty would probably be there. And actually, this is the next experiment I'm doing with Leticia. We are going to build our family values board. Because by writing at our wall the way we want to live our lives as a family, I put myself the responsibility to honor them every day. I will do my best to walk the talk. So I may ask you, what values do you want to live your life with? Do you know what they mean? Do you know how well you're doing? Are you getting better every day or not? Can you monitor them? Can you have a healthy discussion with your partner, with someone who lives with you, about how well you are doing in those values? So to finish, I would like to extend the invitation to you to do this small experiment that I did to myself. And start with kindness. Simple. You can do it like this, on paper. First step, gain clarity about what kindness means to you. Write it down, a short and simple and straightforward definition. As you would explain to a 5-year-old child, please don't use Google or Wikipedia. It doesn't make sense. It's your definition. What does it mean to you from your heart when you say kindness? Right? Is it clear? Have you gained clarity about the definition? Good. You're up to phase 2. Go and measure it. So once you get clarity about what it means to you, you can start monitoring. You can start measuring every single day. Analyze your day and give yourself a score. And remember, honesty. There's no reason to lie, right? It's a game. Play with it. Third, if you want to have an accountability partner like I did with Leticia to help observe yourself during the day and make the debrief at the end of the day, that's amazing. Amazing. I highly recommend, especially someone who lives with you and knows you well. You will gain perspective. You will realize that the definition of the words, the meaning of the words are different. And remember to enjoy a discussion with your accountability partner with real examples, and have fun with it, okay? So do that for 1 week and analyze the results. See your chart and ask yourself questions. Why I came from here to here, and be curious. You're going out of the Truman Show and you're going to a Sherlock Holmes movie. Be really curious and analyze yourself. Ask lots of questions. And then you can try to challenge yourself, right? You can try to put yourself some goals, as I did. But just be careful not to put your goals, as I did, and forget other values that are important to you, right? Be aware of the values trade-offs that you are doing, as I did in my case. So it's a very easy exercise. I did it on paper to show you how easy it is, pen and paper. But you also have the opportunity to do it in your phone. For those who like technology, there is a great app developed by the Center for Ethics and Values at MIT, which is totally free. And it was designed to be a tracking device for values and emotions. You can just download it in your app store. I don't know where you like to do that. If it's Mac or any other device, you search for Mitra, M-I-T-R-A, Mitra, track what matters most. Mitra gives you the opportunity to track values and emotions. And at the end of the week, at the end of the month, it generates beautiful charts like this. Beautiful statistics. Lots of numbers. And then with that, you can start your investigation phase. So whether you do it on paper or technology with the Mitra app, just do it because it's powerful. It's very, very good. It was very powerful for me to help me raise my awareness. During the day I'm doing that exercise, I'm much more aware. Every single detail of my life, I'm aware if I'm being kind or not. I'm aware of my emotional state. In that case, I was monitoring anger. But I could be monitoring another emotion. I was monitoring kindness. I could be monitoring honesty or any other value. So it raises my awareness very much. And at the end of the day, it raises my critical thinking process. And in the next day, it raises my improvements, right? I can improve on the things that I saw that I didn't do very much. So I hope you really enjoyed getting to know a little bit about this small experiment I did. And I wish that if you do it, it will be able to help you so effectively as it has helped me. So thank you very much again for your time, for your patience to watch this. And I wish you a very happy Global Kindness Week. Thanks so much.